Here are a couple of sharpening stones. These are diamond stones, and there's both coarse and grit and fine. The coarse grit is 325 and the fine is 1200. So these should be the two that's only really needed. To do a final honing, we can do a whetstone, higher grit. I could use my Japanese water stones for that. But these will be able to take a rough blade and get them into a good condition very quickly. These are made by SHARPAL, and it's a USA company. I do not know where these are made. They could be made overseas, but the company is a USA company. It said it's designed and engineered in the USA. So with that statement in mind, I'm thinking this is made overseas. Okay, the stone, they're on a metal base, which is very important. Okay, here's the storage box. Okay, it comes with a sharpening guide. I don't know if that will fit in the box with it. If it doesn't, that was poor engineering, because you'll lose this item. Maybe it'll go underneath. Nope. Okay, we'll start with coarse. Okay, it's got a rubber on the base, so that's pretty much non-skid. It sticks pretty well. Okay, then this guide is used to manually adjust the angle to the specific angle that you're sharpening. And if you look closely, we have here 14 degrees, 17 degrees, 20 degrees, and 25 degrees. Now, I have a knife that I'm trying to condition into a grafting knife, so let me take that one and work on it. So it's recommended to clean the stone with water and use a nylon brush to brush the surface to remove the chips. Now we need to get these coarse scratches out, so we're going to flip this over to the smooth side and do the same process. What I'm doing is not typical sharpening. This is trying to reshape the blade for a specific use, and that's for a grafting knife. Now with the diamond stone, you can flatten out your other type of sharpening stones. So I'll do that to my honing stone, and then I'll finish this up on the honing stone. Here I'm at my sink, and I'm underneath some running water, and I'm taking the honing stone, the razor honing stone, and I'm rubbing it on the coarse grit. And you can see here where I'm rubbing, it's flattening the stone. With the water, it is keeping the stone from accumulating between the grit. And you can see as I'm doing this, the area where it's worn and where it's being rubbed flat. And you can do this with the coarse and then touch it up with the fine. This can take a stone that was pretty rough and make it as good as new and usable. This is an old stone. It's probably 100 years old. This was my grandfather's. Okay, here you can see almost the entire surface is level except the very tip. And that's probably good enough. We'll do a little bit more. Okay, we got it just about the entire surface. Okay, now I'm going to finish it up by touching it onto the fine, and this one, it's really drawing a vacuum or a suction. Okay, that feels like a piece of glass. That is very smooth. When you finish with the stone, you wipe it off, you wash it off, and then leave it set out for a while to dry. Even though it looks dry, you want to make sure the water is out of the spaces between the diamond grits. So I'm going to leave this set for a while before I seal it in its box. After researching different sharpening stones, I wanted a dual grit, a fine and a coarse, and this one fit the bill. Also, I wanted continuous, no holes. That allows me to do some finer work on this. Also, this stone, the diamond, is, if you look here closely, it says monocrystalline. That's the type of diamond that you want. It's a little more expensive, but this is the one that's going to hold up better. It's a commercially made diamond, but it's extremely hard. For the price, this was $35, and it comes with this tool, angle tool. I don't see that I would ever be using it, but if you're just starting to sharpen knives, and this will help you gauge the proper angles. The instructions that came with this, it's printed so small I can't really read it. I had to use a magnifying glass to see the information on here. So that's pretty much not of any use. But the stone itself, I looked at a bunch of different ones online. This one, for the price, seems to be the best deal. This case is really nice, being that it can hold the stone on the surface. It has that non-skid, which on my granite top really locks down. So that's a good feature. If it didn't have the case, that wouldn't have made any difference. That case looks like it'll protect it. And what I also did, this SHARPAL seems to be a pretty good brand. And I bought this hand one. I haven't opened it up. This I bought just so that I could take it camping. And it also has the same grits, a coarse and a fine. The coarse grit is 325 grit, which is 45 microns. The fine grit is 120 grit, and that's a 9 micron. And again, this is also monocrystalline. For the sharpening stone and a couple of the pruning knives, I'm going to include a link in with the description at the beginning of the video. Thanks for watching, my friends. Bye-bye.